Hi beautiful people, hope you guys are doing fantastic wherever you are in the world. Happy Sunday. First and foremost, I mean no disrespect to the Brown family for discussing the situation. I truly feel without a crystal ball needs to learn where to draw the line, because what she is doing to the Browns during their time of grief and sorrow is absolutely unacceptable. Also, trigger warning, if you do not want to hear about self-harm, please click out. Your well-being is more important than this video. Maybe a week ago, Without a Crystal Ball announced that she will be receiving the full police report from Flagstaff PD in regard to Garrison Brown.
Back in March, when I requested a copy of the police report, I also requested copies of basically everything. So made a full FOIA request for any of the text messages, photographs, and any of the body cam footage. I received a copy from the police department actually today, which included more details about who Garrison was contacting right before everything occurred.
Not because something is available to the public does it have to be reported to the public, especially, in my opinion, a situation like this. Where do you draw the line? Let's get into this. My usual disclaimer, please do not take what I say as fact. Feel free to do your own research and come to your own conclusion. Janelle and Kody Brown lost their son Garrison early March of this year. He was a son, a brother, an uncle, and he was truly loved by his entire family. News broke about this tragedy, and from what I witnessed, people on social media to news outlets were pouring out their support to this family, and in a very respectful way. Then you get Without a Crystal Ball, aka Katie Joy. From the time this news broke, she blamed Kody Brown for Garrison taking his own life, analyzing and making accusations as to who is responsible for him doing what he did. She even at one point blamed Janelle for not getting her son help, and then tried to walk it back. There was not any solid information coming up because this news had just broken. Without a Crystal Ball was making videos, making statements that later was found out to be false. She, in my opinion, was just making videos and spewing out nonsense so people would think that she is the go-to. But at the end of the day, it worked out in her favor, because to date, she has done 30 videos on this tragedy and has amassed nearly 4.5 million views. Her false reporting was getting so out of hand that she was called out by another media outlet for reporting false information, and she had to make a correction. She went on to blame TLC for also being responsible for Garrison taking his own life, and made a statement that Janelle should and could sue them for wrongful death. She made a huge deal on how Cody had no right sitting in the front row at his son's memorial service, and also that Robin, if she did go to the scene, she would have not been welcome there, and how she was being disrespectful because she too was sitting in the front row at Garrison's memorial. She took it upon herself to try and humiliate Cody at his son's memorial by making fun of his hair. It was so infuriating how she was exploiting the death of this young man and disrespecting the family during their time of grief. As you saw, she did receive the police report and she went ahead, and so far she has made 2 videos. Her first video was Garrison Brown's final text message to Janelle revealed in newly released records. Cody ignored Garrison. I'm not going to show you clips from this video, but I will explain to you what happened in this video. The second video she makes, full body cam interviews of Garrison Brown's roommates. Garrison Brown's roommates scoffs at his family's involvement in Sister Wives series. Kody Brown made millions, lived lavishly by berating his sons on Sister Wives, while Garrison received no money from TLC and lived on top ramen. So who knows how many more videos is gonna be coming this upcoming week. Now, going back to her first video, she reveals the pictures taken by police of Garrison's phone and all the information they got from the phone. She actually read out and showed her audience. And as I record this video, she has posted those messages on her Facebook. And according to Without a Crystal Ball, the reason for the estrangement was brought up because Cody was included in the group text. Now that Without a Crystal Ball got her hands on these text messages, she feels she has the reason and knows why Garrison did this to himself. And she concludes, in my opinion, from what I listened to, is that Cody is responsible for Garrison taking his own life. She goes on to read the conversation between Janelle and Garrison. She alludes to so much. She makes so much accusations. And from reading those text messages, she leans on her own understandings, which I feel is so insensitive and so irresponsible. She also shows body cam footage of Garrison's roommates being interviewed. And the thing that hurt me the most when I watched the video, so I could do this video, was seeing his brother Gabe and the state he was in. It's truly heartbreaking. But what I am going to insert here, but I'm not going to show the images or whatever she showed on her video, how she spends most of her time on this video blaming Kody Brown for his son's demise.
All of these different people, and no one responded. And included in that is a message to Dayton, and Dayton never responded. He was trying to reach his father right before he dies, and his dad doesn't respond, doesn't say a word. And then all of the evidence from the scene that I was provided, there's no discussion about Cody. Cody is not at the scene. There is no interview with Cody. They don't call Cody, nothing. Cody never makes it there. Cody got a message from his son that he was estranged from. The same man that said that his son never contacted him, the same man that said that his sons had him blocked, the same man that said that he would talk to his kids if they reached out to him, didn't respond. 8:04 is when he sends the text. 8:34 is when Janelle reaches out to him. By 8:45, he hasn't responded to them. He hasn't responded to Janelle. And his roommates hear the pop between 8:30 and 9. His very last thoughts before he pulled the trigger were about the loss that he had experienced in his life related to his father and to his siblings. There's a man named Cody Brown that had the opportunity to respond to his son and didn't, that had the opportunity with an open dialogue to say something. I mean, I keep wondering, what if Cody would have responded that night? What if he would have said something? But he didn't. And then the day that he happens to be found by Gabriel, he doesn't go there. It makes you wonder how things could have been different. Why didn't Cody respond? Cody had the opportunity to respond, and he didn't. Cody had the opportunity to say something, and he didn't. But the fact that he sent that text to Cody was so much of a trigger to Janelle, probably because he never reached out to Cody. And then Cody didn't respond. And then Cody doesn't show up at the scene, but then Cody sits front row at his funeral. Cody couldn't be there for his son in the last moments of his life. He only showed up after, and at the funeral. That's not a father. That's disgusting. He didn't have to die this way. He clearly was struggling. The family knew he was struggling. They knew that this was a possibility, and no one got him help.
She was getting a lot of backlash for what she was doing. She posted, "This reporting is all done through the Freedom of Information Act. Nothing obtained in this video is considered private or confidential. Flagstaff PD have redacted all details that are private and confidential. This has been released to report the truth about the situation without speculation. These are the facts of what occurred. Cody is the recipient of the final text message. Cody did not respond to his son. Garrison's final thoughts were about the loss of his relationship with his father. FOIA requests are right of any citizen in the United States. Evidence collected by police during a death investigation are not considered private." Let me say this. Obviously, Without a Crystal Ball despises Cody Brown for whatever reason. What the reason is, I do not know. You are all entitled to and can go and watch her video and see for yourself. Cody was not the only one to receive a text message from Garrison. He was one of 9 people that Garrison tried to reach out to, and only Janelle and another sibling answered him. And all this happened in a span of less than an hour, from him sending the group text to taking his own life. Nobody knows and will ever know, in my opinion, why he sent that group text message. So why is it on Cody to be held responsible for his son taking his life? Cody lost his son. None of us know exactly what he's going through or feeling. No one grieves the same. There's no textbook answer on what is the proper way to grieve. Like I said, nobody will ever know why Garrison texted all those people and the response he wanted and why. So why is Without a Crystal Ball trying to spread a false narrative and wanting people to hate on a father that lost his son? Whatever he did to his son or what people saw him do to his son on TV, that will be Cody's cross to carry. She has been doing nothing but speculating this entire time because not one of the family members have spoken about this and have validated why he did what he did or what he was going through, or have even spoken about his final moments. So how can she say that his final thoughts were about the loss of his father? Once again, in my opinion, not because it is public, does it need to be reported to the public. She then went on her Facebook and she posted, Garrison's final text message was to Cody and Dayton. They never responded. Without a Crystal Ball can exclusively confirm that final text message sent by Garrison Brown was to Dayton and Kody Brown, along with multiple TLC crew members. Janelle, Logan, Caleb, Gabriel, Tim, and a cameraman and director along with a CB were also included. The only person that responded to Garrison were Janelle and Logan. Additionally, Garrison admitted to Janelle in his final messages to her that he was S and acknowledged that he knew that she worried about his S tendencies. Without a Crystal Ball is lying because nowhere in Garrison's final messages to his mum does he admit to her that he was S. Christine and Mary Brown were nowhere to be found in his most recent text messages. Garrison told his mom that he called in sick to work. A text message to his boss revealed that he had been vomiting blood that day. He told his mom that he wasn't okay after finding a photo of him playing paintball with his dad and several siblings and crew. And in that video, where she read his text messages to the co-worker, it absolutely made me so mad because how many of you have called into work when you weren't that sick and you made an excuse? You came up with something so you didn't have to go to work, but you had to have an excuse to give to your job why you're not coming. I feel that's exactly what Garrison did within the text message that she read on her channel. So she took that, Googled the excuse that he gave, in my opinion, and basically verified that was the excuse, and the reasons he was having those symptoms was because of his substance abuse. Janelle told him that she was sorry and that there had been a lot of loss. His final words to Janelle before dying by S were, "That's true." He stopped responding after that. We will be revealing these texts along with audio and video interviews in a new video. Garrison was clearly thinking about his lost relationship with his father and siblings. Cody never responded. At this point, she's not doubling down, she's not quadrupling down, she's just being hateful. Time to face reality, folks. They've been selling a lie. Sister Wives is fake. It's time to stop buying into fake narratives. Facts about the Brown family that are intentionally withheld from audiences by TLC and the family. Number 1, Cody has been estranged from most of his family since Robin Brown joined the family. 2, even before Robin joined the family, Janelle and Cody's relationship was hanging on by a thread. He had already dumped Mary, and Christine was only valued for her work she did at home. 3, Cody only valued Janelle for her work ethic. She was his worker bee, and he used her for credit and to pay for his lifestyle for years before Robin. 4, Cody has never legally claimed any of Christine's children. He neglected her kids and they were viewed as less than in the family before Robin arrived. 5, Cody has never financially supported any of his wives or children other than Robin. 6, Logan Brown is the patriarch of Janelle's family. He is viewed by most of his siblings like a father, due to the fact that Janelle still relies on Logan to this day to be a dad. Logan wants no children. 7, the wives faked being happy on the show to appease Cody for money. They all have been unhappy for years. Janelle has been planning to leave since season 5. 8, many of the half-siblings have distant relationships and are more like cousins than siblings, despite what they say on the show. 9. Cody has next to no relationship with any of his children other than Robin's kids. 10. Mary has been estranged from the family since the beginning of the show. 11. Physical, emotional, psychological, spiritual, and verbal abuse against their children occurred in the home. 12. Polygamy is and will always be a crime against women, violence against women, and a crime against humanity. 13. All of the adults subjected to their children being a face of an illegal and criminal lifestyle, despite the ramifications of putting a child in this position. Many adult children aren't involved with the show because of their association with polygamy. 14. Cody is a deadbeat dad. 15. Cody married his fourth cousin Christine, his stepsister and brother-in-law's ex-wife, and Christine's cousin's ex-wife. One of his daughters married her third cousin. Is this really facts without a crystal ball? This comes across to me as hatred, unprofessional, insensitive, and very childish, because the only reason you did this was because of all the backlash you have been receiving in regard to insensitivity towards this family. And not backlash from the family, but backlash from the public, who is trying to tell you that what you are doing is wrong. It's unnecessary. It's insensitive. But you refuse to accept that because this tragedy is making you money and nobody gets in the way of you making your coin, you choose not to ignore the negativity and or accept that you are being told that what you are doing is wrong. No, you go harder. Rather than just having human decency and showing respect to this family during such a painful time, you taking offense to it because in your mind, they don't deserve to be given privacy, to be given grace, or even be allowed to grieve. And all you are doing is creating drama and wanting them to be held accountable. They lost their son, a pain that they will never ever get over. No parent should ever bury their child. It gets worse. I will not sweep under the rug a violent death that was a predictable ending for a child raised in polygamy. Fans are blinded and ignorant. They want to believe this as a personal matter. This family gave birth on television. As a reporter, I'm not going to let them pretend they were so invested in his life when he was clearly suffering. All the adults have lied. All of them made their kids faces of a criminal sex trafficking cult. I mean no disrespect. Garrison was an adult. He obviously was struggling and he hid a lot from loved ones. Now she is blaming the fans when she herself watches the show to get content and profit off of their pain. If she truly was concerned for these kids, why is she on YouTube profiting off of their pain? Why is she not leaving her house, meeting up with people, traveling places to go and make a difference? In this situation, it is a personal matter because you, Katie Joy, cannot respect these people. You use the excuse, oh, they are public figures. But guess what? They are human beings. They have lost a son. It was not a homicide or anything like that. Not because his report is public, do you have to make it public. You are not a reporter. You are merely just a YouTuber that is choosing to exploit this family and the death of their son and loved one for your own personal gain. If you claim to be a reporter, where are your credentials? You said that reality shows are fake. And besides, aren't you no contact with your dad? No one is out here blaming your dad for you being such a fucked up person. He was absolutely suffering and he kept that pain to himself. And he even hid it from the one person that meant so much to him, and that was his mom. If any of the Brown kids do see this, I ask this in the utmost respect. Do you regard yourself as the face of a criminal sex trafficking cult? And once again, I ask that in the most respectful way. The post says, without a crystal ball, all of you claiming this is too personal had no problem watching women give birth on national television. Give me a dang break. Birth is the most personal experience a woman will ever go through, and also the most beautiful thing, Katie Joy. These modest women allowed men with cameras to film a child coming out of their private area. You may not have seen it on the show, but the cameraman and producer certainly did. And shame on all of you for buying into propaganda about polygamy. Shame on you for being such a vile human being. Garrison's death is a predictable and tragic outcome in polygamy. Cody is a typical polygamous father. He has no relationship with his kids. No child should be forced to be part of a show that promotes a criminal sex trafficking cult. The same cult that has an illegal militia and will go to war with our government. Stick your heads in the sand or wake up. But your ignorance won't stop my reporting. She says by reporting. Garrison was drowning his trauma in alcohol. He grew up abused and neglected. His deadbeat dad berated and humiliated him on television. And now you want privacy? Privacy only protects Kody Brown. If you promote privacy, you endorse Cody. I said what I said. How many glasses of wine do you think Katie Joy had when she actually posted this? Leave your answers in the comment section. Nobody, Katie Joy, is buying into anything. They watched, and I'm assuming for entertainment, and I'm sure some were amazed or astounded that people actually live this way. Shame on you for not having a heart, or like I said, having the decency to put your feelings aside and leaving them to grieve the loss of their son. This doesn't only happen in polygamy, it can happen to anyone. So why are you not pounding those pavements to actually make a difference and try helping these people you claim to want to save? Why are you not reporting all these militia that you're talking about to the prospective agencies that can do something if they do exist and they're doing things illegally? No, privacy would have made a big difference for his mother, Katie Joy. Something that you will never grasp or understand because you yourself is the most selfish person I have ever come across, and greedy. I don't and will never endorse Cody for his bad behaviors, but I sure will show him the grace and respect that he does deserve during this time of him losing his son. But what you have done and said about him during this time of him losing his son and not being able to grieve in peace is absolutely deplorable, insensitive, disgusting, and most of all, it validates to me the true piece of shit that you are. Let me end by saying this again. Not because something is available to the public does it have to be reported to the public, especially in this situation. How and why does Without a Crystal Ball think it is okay to be publicizing the last minutes of a loved one's life and or the most personal last messages to his loved ones? This was a tragedy, and these parents have lost their son. They asked for privacy, not judgment. I did make posts prior to this about Without a Crystal Ball's behavior in regard to this matter, and a lot of people have shared their stories of losing a loved one in this way. They fully understand what this family is going through and respecting their wishes. Yet why is it so hard for Without a Crystal Ball to respect their wishes? No matter they are public figures, but they are still human beings at the end of the day, and they need time to process this without judgment and pointing fingers of who is to blame. Like I have demonstrated to you how Without a Crystal Ball is constantly blaming Cody Brown for the demise of his son. People have been leaving comments defending Without a Crystal Ball and stating that it is public and they are public figures, and what she is doing is not wrong, and that everybody is doing it. I have not seen anybody else, YouTuber or media outlet, reporting on this full police report in regard to Garrison. And I could be wrong. If you guys for 1 second their thought about them just as parents. Has Without a Crystal Ball done that? I don't think so. Has she tried putting herself in their shoes? I don't think so. Has any of you that have come up against me for 1 second thought about how these parents feel, or this entire family, and what they could be going through? I know a lot of you have not done that from the responses some of you have left. It's like, I am doing the same thing, or I am no better. Let me let you guys in on something. This is not me trauma dumping. It's just merely me explaining that I can relate to this family. I witnessed S when I was a very young child, and I'm talking about witnessed everything. He sat next to me and he took his own life. I know how Gabe feels and what he has to deal with. My heart broke for Gabe seeing him in that state when Without a Crystal Ball showed it on a channel. He has a long road ahead of him. He will have endless nightmares and he needs a lot of support, therapy, and he doesn't need to be dealing with being burdened how the public is judging his parents and his entire family for the loss of his brother. That is the last thing he needs. 25 years ago, I lost my uncle the same way. My mum and our entire family has never gotten over it till this day. They still have questions, and it is still so hard. For Without a Crystal Ball to say his death was predictable is unfair and so irresponsible. Without a Crystal Ball, in my opinion, doesn't have a clue what trauma feels like, the way she's carrying on, because she creates her own imaginary trauma. And if she truly did go through some kind of trauma, she would be more compassionate, sympathetic, empathetic, in my opinion. Trauma is not tea, as Without a Crystal Ball herself has said before. Yet, here she is, brewing up all the tea she can. She is not reporting on this family to make a difference or to make any changes. She is just doing it because she gets the clicks, the views, and in turn makes a lot of money. If you want to see her past behaviors in regard to reporting on this tragedy, you can feel free. I've done other videos. I will link other people's videos explaining and showing her bad behavior. Also, once again, I am not telling anybody what to do, where to go, where not to go. If you want to go to Without a Crystal Ball's page and watch her videos, feel free. Please, if you are the praying kind, please keep Garrison's family and friends in your prayers. My deepest condolences to the entire family, and rest in peace, Garrison. That's it for now. Thank you guys so much for taking the time and watching this video. Have a wonderful rest of your day and have a wonderful, safe and productive upcoming week. Please be safe out there, be kind to one another, and don't forget, make good memories. Bye guys.